Well, so Gimli has a range attack too, and he just throws smaller axes.
I thought you were going to say he throws smaller dwarves. Would have been funnier.
Let's wind down.
So people aren't going to get that. They're going to get the nice, smooth, after dark sounds of Watson and James.
Welcome back to Watson and James Don't Play. You just said our names. My name is Watson.
I guess that would make me Watson as well.
Correct. We're both Watson.
That sounds right.
I'm Watson. He's Watson. We're all Watson.
If this is your way of proposing to me, yes. 1,000 times yes.
We're not already married?
What's funny is...
Fierce attack.
We've been married for, I don't know, probably a decade or so in the eyes of the state. We're in a civil union, right? We've just common law married.
Right, yes. And you can actually, you look at the photos and you look at my lazy eye and you're like, yeah, that's him.
That's the one.
That's absolutely the one. That's my man.
I'm going to stand by him.
I think I'm invincible in this bit here.
So explain to the good folks what we're doing.
We're playing Lord of the Rings 2 Towers on GameCube.
Never forget.
I'm playing this because you recently got a PS2, which means you can buy this game. It came out on PS2, GameCube, and Xbox.
Hell yeah.
It's beloved. It's a beloved game.
I got 3 what I believe to be all-time games for the PS2. Like games you dig out the PS2 for, and I sent you a picture. What do you think?
I like them. So you got Battlefront 1, right?
I got Battlefront 2.
Oh, Battlefront 2, and then you got Soul Calibur 2. Both 2s.
I got both 2s, Soul Calibur 2, Battlefront 2, and then I also got Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which is just, just a good time.
Right.
People can go back and look at our Grand Theft Auto episodes and get the idea.
Am I supposed to be going somewhere? Up
So-
Mountain Doom, right? Like, that's the goal here, is to go up Mountain Doom.
Yeah.
I just keep fighting orcs.
Yeah, that's where you meet Vader, right?
Yeah.
For your final
The
confrontation.
top of Mountain Doom. Isildur meets Darth Vader.
And then he pushes Snape off.
Right.
I get it.
Severus Snape
I get it.
takes all of his clothes off.
Snape kills...
For no reason.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Naked.
Nude. Because they're British. British can only be nude.
Ba-ba-ba.
Yeah.
Ba-ba.
And it's a whole big... They have a really touching scene where he's like, live long and prosper, and, then Havana Kedavra, and it's over.
So I'm playing this because you got a PS2, and this is a game that you can now play, right?
I really appreciate that.
I'm also playing this because
cutscene.
I'm caught up on... We've seen it.
No, I haven't.
You've never seen this scene?
Oh, wow. Got lopped his fingers right off.
You've never seen this, huh?
Wow.
Yeah, gotcha.
This is some kind of book series?
This is intro to Back to the Future 2, actually.
Huh.
Yeah. That's Michael J.
So it's
Fox.
not about him, it's about his kids.
That's Doc Brown going nuclear.
That's the Libyans.
Those are all Libyans.
Those are all Libyans.
Tons of them.
I don't know how, but they found them.
Oh,
what is wrong with us?
I don't know.
That guy should have had a Snickers, I'll tell you that.
We were talking off the air that it might be autism, but, there's no proof of that.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's autism.
Were you ever officially diagnosed? Because I was. I was officially diagnosed years and years ago before they called it the spectrum. It was called Asperger's at the time.
Well, then tell your history with it, and then I'll tell mine.
That's pretty much it. We went to the doctor. Mom was concerned because I wasn't speaking.
How old were you?
5 or 6.
Okay,
something like that.
so yeah, you're right
Maybe-
around the time where it's noticeable that you haven't started.
Maybe a little older. Turns out I was just super traumatized. Oh, fair. That's rough. Oh, damn.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, it does. Oh, no, I had 2 excellents and 0 perfects. Okay. Mission rating good. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a good average.
Tight. Isildur's he's going to be okay.
You're going to be okay, buddy.
No, I'm not going to save my game because I'm never going to play this again.
Isildur.
Parry. Thrust.
So your mom was concerned that you weren't talking at 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But it wasn't autism or what they would have even called like Asperger's back then.
Yeah, well, no, they called it. That's what they called it.
Yeah.
That's what the doctor called it. He's like, your son probably has Asperger's or something close to it.
Right.
Further testing is required, but he's like, that's my 2 cents is your son just has Asperger's and he's going to be okay.
He's going to be all right.
Right. Because he asked my mom, does he talk to you? And she goes, well, yeah. Well, then what's the problem?
Then there's no medical, he can't talk.
Right. Then he can talk.
When
he just has
chooses
no
to.
interest. I think I embarrassed my mom a lot.
You think you were
up.
just detached, like, kind of from participating?
Yeah, I had no interest in knowing anyone.
Yeah.
Ever. For
Yeah.
any reason. Because Mom would introduce me to random people.
Yeah.
And her thing was be polite.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I said, why?
We were like one generation removed from literally children should be seen and not heard. Like we could maybe, if spoken to, we could speak back. But yeah, the politeness was pushed heavily, so I relate to that pretty hard.
And I wouldn't look people in the eye when I talked to them.
I still don't.
That was their big deal, is that
That's rude.
they would always say, like, look me in the eye if you're going to, otherwise I'm lying. If I
Oh
wouldn't,
my god, right. Yeah, the human lie detector test.
if I didn't look them in the eye, then I'm clearly a liar.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, no, I just have a crazy eye.
Well, and you learn pretty quickly that like if that's going to be that big of an ordeal, then just be quiet. You just clam up, you know?
Do I have to relight my torch?
It looks like it.
Oh, that was cool.
Well, I remember a story that my mom would tell. This is a little bit before I can remember. This would have been preschool. And same kind of thing. Super quiet kid, and I didn't talk a whole lot. Well, apparently one of the daycare workers, when my mom came to pick me up, after like a week or so of me going there, she said, "Oh, we finally figured out that he can talk." And my mom said, "What? What are you talking about? Of course he can talk."
Of course you can talk.
And the lady goes, "Well, he didn't talk much here at all. Nobody really talked to him. But when we came around to put ketchup on the kids' lunch trays, he screamed that he didn't want that."
No!
Yeah. So that's how
Ketchup's for fools!
You idiots. It's just sugar and fructose corn syrup. Anyway. So that's how they learned that I could talk, was by me not wanting my meatloaf to get ruined in the lunchroom. And my mom would laugh and tell this story, right? Keep in mind, she has a master's degree in early childhood special education.
Uh-huh.
She knew exactly what was going on. And when she, in fact, went to get that degree, I was in grade school. So she would take these classes, and she'd say, "Hey, a friend of mine is going to come over and ask you some questions. Is it all right if they like write down your answers and you kind of you do this test for them?"
Right.
And in hindsight, what they were doing is they had to practice giving these exams to potentially special education kids.
Okay.
So all my results for all these different things were readily available. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I know that I don't have a learning disability, for instance. I know that I'm not dyslexic. I know that I am a little bit of the Tism.
Sure.
But I'm basically just a classic, former gifted kid.
I would say things like,
Just read a lot and didn't talk much.
when mom would ask me, it's like, why are you being so rude? I would say things like, well, I don't like them.
Yeah, they're
That's-
not nice to me. Something like that.
I just have no interest in getting to know these people.
Yeah, what's in it for you?
Right. Like, I have nothing to gain
I'm
from
not
this.
going to be a friend with this adult.
There we go. All right.
Finally
Yes.
getting somewhere with the torch.
Excellent. Thank you.
That's how you get an excellent. And
Yeah,
the torch stayed
baby.
lit. Don't
You
forget
s-
your parry button.
That's what I wasn't hitting. I had to hit the fierce button. So light the torch. Fierce. Fierce.
Slay
And
cunts.
then we slay.
Serving cunt.
Turns out long swords aren't effective against the Nazgul, but
It's
a
still-
lit torch will do them in. Wow, this looks like
A lit
ass.
torch, and it is Brat Summer on Mount Doom.
Frodo's invisible, but I can still see him.
Is that what the kids say?
That's what the kids have said.
Is he
before.
a blood memory? Is that why you can see him? So that's how this works, right? Another
Yes.
excellent.
Oh, love it.
I'm ready to see a totally tubular pop up. Gnarly, bruh.
So this game's cool because you play through the events of the movie, not the book necessarily, but more the movie than anything.
Well,
And
same thing,
kind of.
kind of.
There's no burning of the Shire.
Oh,
You know,
that's
you're
true.
not
Yeah,
gonna-
the war never reaches the Shire in the movies.
Not
right?
really. No, the
It stays
Shire's
pretty pristine.
Shire's fine the whole
Yeah.
time. Shire's good.
Yeah, they pop back in there like nothing fucking happened. Like,
Oh, you guys are back. How was your trip?
I feel like it's.
Did you have a
like-
good time?
It's almost like a boring vacation story their neighbors wouldn't even want to hear. It's like, oh, you saved Middle Earth. Okay, there's a slideshow. No thanks.
They all had a good time except the one guy, like, Friar whatever. I forget the farmer's name.
Yeah, don't put me on the spot. I don't know.
But he he looks at Frodo and goes, "Well, they all seem okay, but he has PTSD. Something bad happened to Frodo.
You see it in his eyes, those big saucer-shaped
Just
eyes.
gigantic eyeballs.
I'm lost in them right now, but
Look
it's
at that.
actually dangerous.
Look at that seamless cut from gameplay to movie scene.
Yeah,
That's quality shit right there.
I gotta watch these movies. They look really good.
They're so good. You've never seen them, huh?
None of them.
Interesting.
None
They
of
came
them.
out when we were children.
I heard they're based on books. They're supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Huh.
The books are fine.
Children, huh?
I would say the movies are better than the books, but, what do I know?
But look at that. He's so tiny compared to the other ones. That's terrible effects.
Fucking little guy.
Wait,
It's like all they did was set them at different points and did
why
it.
is he so much smaller than everybody? Look at that perspective.
He's a hobbit, you fucking idiot!
Is that like a homeless rabbit?
Yes!
A hobbit?
Yes, look at him! Look, his ears are going to burst forth at any moment.
He has the hottest non-binary haircut of the summer.
That kind of curly mullet
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot.
Look, I'm not knocking it.
Yeah.
And yeah, those eyes though. I believe he's gonna.
Oh my God, they shouldn't have done that.
This is still part of the movie.
They shouldn't have. I respect it. All right, I respect the flawless cut there.
It's like when you see animatics.
It's like it looks
Like no,
fucking
they
horrible.
they storyboarded this part of the scene, but never shot it.
Look at that portrait of Aragorn. He
Look at those excellence.
3 of them. No perfects though.
But your mission rating went up. You went
Excellent.
up from good to excellent.
Even though I died once.
I'm proud of you.
Okay.
You know I don't say it enough.
I gotta buy stuff.
Proud of you.
I have 5,000 points.
Get
You know what? I'm not gonna get anything.
Isildore's War Rush.
I'm saving up for 10,000 because then I get a permanently increase to my health. This shit
That
means
is the
nothing to me.
Dumbest, most like square strategy I've ever heard for a
It's
video
effective, all right?
game. Let me make sure to save up.
This
so
is
I
like
can
people
get
that
extra
play-
health. Says this. You wanted a permanent upgrade. This is the same guy, ladies and gentlemen. This is the same guy who said, "I'm never gonna play this game again." Like you're gonna need it later on, further down the road.
You don't know. We might be playing this all night. God,
I'm gonna be playing your mom.
you're such a
all
fucking
night.
buzzkill.
I'm gonna play your mom all night.
Good. Have fun. She's dead.
I like that I was the buzzkill about pointing out that you were being a buzzkill.
I like that I was the one that always points out that my mom is dead, so the mom jokes don't really work anymore. Or they work more so. I can't decide.
I lean into it.
Do you think they're more effective now that I have a dead parent?
It just means I bring Vaseline,
Jesus fuck.
right?
Oh.
Like I said, lean into it. See, you decide if that worked or not.
It is
for
the only
your
way
mom joke.
that I deal with anything is that, even though the darkness persists and the void is ever expanding, I have to remain silly.
The darkness persists, but so do I.
Right.
You know?
Come on, Gimli. Let's go fuck shit up.
Let's go fuck it up.
He just
And
goes in flying, two-handing his longsword, just ready to fuck Orc.
I can't.
Drop him.
You know what's a silver lining is to our friendship? I think
All the gay sex.
that's a perk.
Sure. Tons of butt stuff.
But I think that you and I will probably still be friends at some point in the future when something does eventually happen to my mom. And I'll be there for that first your mom joke from you.
Yeah, but I'm not good at mom jokes.
Yeah, but you'll have to get one in like at the wake. Right?
Okay.
You're like, I can see your mom's nipples through her burial dress.
Gimli, get the fuck out of the way. God. All right.
And I'll be like, I fucking hate you, bro. With tears in my eyes.
And I go, no, you don't.
Like on that day we'll be even. You know what I mean?
Little bitch.
Until then, I'm just gonna make bad jokes about yours, you know?
I just I got about halfway through my mom's funeral and I said, well, this is fucking horrible. And I just left.
Look, you don't like being around people on a good day.
Right. It was a bad fucking
It was
day.
a
And I
bad
just
fucking
kind of
day.
looked around. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave for one thing.
I don't think you owe it to anybody to stay.
And I'm going to go buy a pack of smokes. And I'm just going to go fuck off for the rest of the day.
I think you earned it.
And the rest of the day was fine. That was honestly,
Yeah.
all I had to do was leave the funeral. And I was like, yeah, it's
Bought a new pair of shoes. Had a turkey dinner. Pretty good day, all in all.
normal fucking day. Because I looked up to the vase that they kept her ashes in. And I go, oh, they really roasted her, didn't they? All right, well, I'll see you guys later. She is gone.
Gone. Yeah. I will say.
I left right as someone started singing Ave Maria, and I said, God damn it. I said, I'll. What fucked me up so much is that it probably seemed like a good idea to whoever was doing it.
I'm
And
sure it was a heartfelt gesture.
Whoever was doing it clearly didn't know Mom, because I had never heard her play that song in my entire life, and she was like a professional pianist. She accompanied for the college choir. Like, she was a professional musician.
Well, it was
paid to play music. Never in all my days did I ever hear her play that song for anyone ever.
No, your mom wanted. She was very explicit in her will that she wanted Aqualung by Jethro Tull.
Duh, come on.
Because it's got a pretty great organ part in it, and it would have been great.
No, if anything, she wanted to "Addicted to Love" by Robert Palmer played.
Well, you're gonna have to face it. Yeah, she's addicted to that song.
You want to talk about the song that she played the most? It was the Robert Palmer album, because she had this. She had a CD player, right? And it was the only CD player that the household had, right?
Yeah.
So I received a CD for Christmas one year, which was funny because I didn't actually have a CD player.
Oh.
And it was Pokemon 2 Be a Master with the number 2 be a master.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I had to ask Mom. I said, Mom, can I listen to this? And she's like, yeah, but you have to listen to it. You can't take the stereo out of the bedroom. You have to stay in the bedroom while you listen to it. She was fucking picky about her CD player, right?
And in hindsight, she probably just realized that a kid moving things back and forth, there's just a higher chance of it getting broken.
Yeah, she was just worried about a kid.
She's just being pragmatic.
She's like, no, my shitty kid's gonna break my stuff if I don't set some fucking ground rules.
Let's set a couple rules here, and we can both compromise. It'll be fine.
So I got about halfway through, and she's like, all right, that's it, time's up, and she put Robert Palmer back on, and I'll never forget it. And I always thought that was fucking hilarious.
I thought you were going to say, and I've always hated Robert Palmer.
Whoa, what was that?
Just sucked under. Just gone.
Just fucking gone. What's crazy, though, is that he popped up out of the water.
Like daisies.
So he knew it was there, and he's like, fuck it, I'm going to give it a shot anyway.
Yeah, I'm going for it. This is great.
They really wanted you to force you to use the parry mechanic because there's just arrows flying at you constantly. So you're just always hitting B.
Bouncing them like a tennis racket, though.
Just in case.
You got to make it up there, man. Yeah.
I think Aragorn did that one time. Is there a jump button? No, there's not.
Fuck's sake, Gimli, get in the action.
Is there a shoot button, maybe?
Oh, there you go. He's defending you.
I have arrows. Can I shoot things?
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Fuck yeah.
Shoot his ass. You have 30 arrows.
There we go. Tight. All right, I can shoot him. I understand now.
Is it like auto-target?
Yeah, you just got to hold the R2 or the left trigger and then hit A button. So you got to, it's like hold the button down and then hit the action button. Action. Action.
Action, man.
Action. Action.
Yeah. Maybe point the gun away from her.
Action. The water looks rough.
So
water looks very grid-like.
What's been going on with you?
Oh well, I almost said earlier before
we've been reminiscing about old times.
Yeah.
What's current times?
Oh, I'm all caught up on Rings of Power. Spoiler alert, still absolute dog shit. I can't stop watching it. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I know what's wrong with you. You're just kind of a glutton for... You're a bit of a masochist. You're a glutton for punishment.
I love watching bad stuff. I don't even know why.
I think you've just committed somewhere in part of your brain to absorbing a certain amount of Lord of the Rings. And you're like, this is...
Well, so I keep watching
it.
Yeah, I keep watching because it is Lord of the Rings.
And every once in a while, you get a little hit of that goodness.
Yeah.
But it's surrounded by so many layers of shit, that overall it is kind of just torture, I think. So you're starting to associate that with the pleasure. I think that's where your masochistic streak is coming in.
I like the part where no one in the show has ever acted in anything before. The writers have never written for screen ever in their life.
Right.
And it's almost unwatchable.
Unwatchable.
I just keep watching it.
I want to see that. The
only redeeming quality that it has is that sometimes they'll roll their R's when they say Mordor.
Galadriel. They canceled Andor because Star Wars, I feel like, is going through a similar thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to go out here.
Of just they don't know what to do with the property. So these big IPs are all in a slump, like Harry Potter's in a slump. You know what I mean? The Magical Beast movies kind of all fizzled out.
Yeah.
Star Wars is canceled. Fucking Rings of Power sucks.
Like I used to say Star Wars is canceled. All of it.
All of it, forever. No, I'm just saying they're just in kind of a weird, like, there's, what's the next movie or whatever they're even going to make with that? I know they're going to do one, but...
They're going to do one because they own it and they have to.
Right, and they're committed to a certain amount of these projects.
And that's a lot of it, is that they're just like, shit, well, we own it. And people seem to like the property, so we'll keep trying.
Well, after episode 9, they were pretty clear that they were like, look, we realize there doesn't need to be a Star Wars movie every year, but we're going to keep this alive, and we're not going to present like a new trilogy or anything until we have a solid plan and some time has developed. We're also going to do TV shows and stuff.
Yeah, meantime, we're going to do all these TV shows. None of them are going to be good except the one.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happens to be the one that has nothing to do with the Jedi. I used to play the Star Wars role-playing game all the time. It was like... it felt like it was based on D&D 3.5 edition. That's what it felt the closest to.
Yeah.
And we would make our Star Wars characters. Whoever was running the show, the GM, not the DM, because there's no dungeons. It's just a game. So the GM would make the rule that only one person got to be a Jedi. Usually we had to roll to see who was the Jedi.
Sure.
No one really wanted to be the Jedi because the Jedi wasn't that great. Except the lightsaber attacks did the most damage. But other than that, they just weren't great in combat for the most part.
That makes sense. I could see that.
So by and large, all of our Star Wars campaigns that we took part in had little to do with the Jedi and had more to do with just kind of like being rebels and subterfuge and, overcoming, being normal Star Wars characters,
right?
Overcoming extreme odds.
What they used to call the expanded universe, basically.
Yeah, we would take part in the expanded universe.
It's what they've talked about in those, books that used to be canon. It's what you've talked about a number of times in life and on this show. We all agree. Star Wars is a big universe. Not everybody has to be related to the same 5 fucking people.
Right. It is a whole galaxy.
There's a galaxy. You remember that pan across the Senate in episode 3?
Yes.
Where you see all the different planets? Those are just the ones represented in the Senate. Anything could happen on any of those planets, and yet we keep going to the same 3 fucking ecosystems.
Yeah, the Galactic Empire was created in order to fight back against the Yuzon Vong.
Yeah.
And then Disney bought Star Wars and said, none of that shit counts anymore. We're getting rid of it.
Ugh.
Why? It's awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah.
That there's this whole race of alien beings that the Force doesn't work on.
Yeah, why not explore that in something? I'm not saying it has to be the forefront. There's room on TV, video games, books, graphic novels. There's so many different ways to tell stories. It could be a theme park attraction.
Right.
With a fucking story.
Like a Pirates of the Caribbean thing.
Yeah. Fucking, what are they? Moisture Farmers of Tatooine, the ride. I don't care. Explore it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Tell a good noir heist type story that takes place in like what essentially looks like the 40s, but it's in space.
One of the coolest things.
Cool.
One of the coolest things we did in the Star Wars role-playing game was heist related. Me and another character stole a speeder and crashed it into the office building because my charisma check didn't pan out. So I said, "Fuck it, we'll just drive the speeder through the front of the building, and that's how we'll get into the vault." And it was awesome.
Do you remember when Benicio del Toro swoops into the Star Wars? What is it, Rogue? Was it Rogue One?
It was. He was in episode 8, wasn't he?
He's in Rogue One, right?
Was he in Rogue One? I don't think so.
Where he pops up and helps the Rebel Alliance?
And it don't matter. None of this matters.
It's the one where those 2 characters no one cared about go to like a casino world.
And that part of that is a fucking heist movie because he's like the lockpick guy and they're trying to recruit him and he's, working both sides.
That was kind of cool.
Like, why not do more shit like that?
All the almost cool shit. They just don't have the balls.
No, it's gotta be somehow so-and-so is related to so-and-so.
Somehow Palpatine returned and he owns all the casinos now.
I can't tell you.
How did we let this happen?
How many hundreds of millions of dollars. Just rooms full of people whose whole job is to decide how to gracefully hand off a multi-billion-dollar franchise from one generation to the next. They have years to plan multiple movie arcs, and it all came down to somehow Palpatine has returned.
That's all they could crank out.
That's all they could shit out onto a fucking pile of more shit.
All of those extremely professional, well-paid writers who turns out were actually chimps.
They were literally 100 chimps in a room at typewriters.
Oh, this guy fucked me.
It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times. You stupid monkey.
It makes me mad to think about. That's all.
Well, that's what's so disappointing about.
When you contrast it with something like the Venture Brothers, that is just two guys, and it's perfect.
It is perfect.
You know? It's a singular vision. It's cohesive all the way through. Over the course of 20 years, tells one complete story with multiple side stories and smaller specials and stories within it. Two guys. Two fucking guys. 80 episodes. I think one of them was written by a third guy.
Right, and one of them's bad. And I'll let you decide which one's bad.
You fight amongst yourselves about which Venture Brothers episode is bad.
Because I can't think of any off the top of my head.
And it's not Guess Who's Coming to State Dinner. That's a good episode, and the Lincoln jokes are funny. And I like his drunk mom.
Why did I jump up here? Just to have the arrow be a thing I have to do? Like, I was doing fine. My fierce attacks were fine. And the game's like, go up here, because we have this bow mechanic. You know, Aragorn, he used bow and arrow all the time, right? Maybe fucking, twice.
Twice.
Maybe.
Well, they can't really show that in the movie, though, because they had a designated bow guy. They had Legolas there. And you can't just be that he's fast.
Well, so Gimli has a range attack, too, and he just throws smaller axes.
I thought you were going to say he throws smaller dwarves. Would have been funnier.
Throws more dwarves. Well, I just have dwarves on hand.
Now, I know we were making Harry Potter jokes earlier, but we're not the first people to notice that the troll looks like Harry Potter troll, right? He's like a big orc troll thing, right?
I guess I like this design a little better because the troll design from Harry Potter is fucking stupid.
I think you're thinking of
a bad movie. This is a good movie.
I think you're thinking of Harry Potter's version of the giant. Remember Hagrid's cousin or brother or whatever? That was bad character design.
Harry Potter and the Stolen Taint. Give it back!
You know what it looked like? It looked like Channing Tatum had gained a bunch of weight. That's what Hagrid's brother looks like.
Oh, man.
It's the ears. I'll say it. It's the ears. Kill this troll so we can get the hell out of here.
I'm working on it, man.
My God.
Chill out.
I am freaking out about my PlayStation 2.
Okay. Oh, you just want to leave.
I want to play Battlefront 2.
You just want to fucking leave me. It's all I am to you. I'm just a piece of meat.
You're a big, as we previously discussed last week, oily piece of meat.
I'm not oily right now. I just took a shower. I got fucking soap in my eye.
Did you exfoliate, bro?
No, I just smear myself with soap, and I'm like, that's probably good.
Then I apply an herb mint facial mask, which I leave on for 10 minutes while I prepare the rest of my routine.
I saw a meme the other day. It says, how far, when it comes to washing their face, how far do bald people go up? And
I never use aftershave with alcohol in it because alcohol dries out the skin.
There is an idea of a Patrick Bateman.
Bald people go all the way up. We don't stop washing our face. We just wash the entire head.
You don't have a T-zone. You have an inverted cross because it goes all the way up.
It just goes all the way up. I'm the Antichrist.
That'd
all
be
this time.
Sick metal.
Let's do rising attack.
Rise. Chicken.
A rise. A rise, chicken.
The rise chicken.
This is my son, Carl. I am also Carl. We are both Carls. And then he goes, and he goes, shut up.
And the knowledge crystal.
And the knowledge crystal's aquarium gravel. If I had hands and you had a neck, I would squeeze your brain, which is your body, right out of the top of your head, which does not exist.
I'm gonna watch these movies. You know?
I don't give a shit what you do.
All right. All right, Big Sean. I don't give a fuck about you or anything that you do.
This game is cool. You should play it. I'm not even fucking around.
I'm gonna read the books first, and then I'll get around the movies, and then I'll play the game.
Like I said, I don't give a fuck.
I want to be caught up.
All right. I'll see you later.